Hey, everybody. All right, let's hit the button. Yep. How y'all doing today? It's Tuesday. I want to do some more all be one drafting. Does this happen to anybody else with Arena? I can't ever. The store is always such a. Oh, right. That's a good one. Yes, the honeymooners. But yeah, hope you're having a good day. It's Tuesday. We're gonna go ahead and do some drafting. So. So far, we found that, like, there's a pretty strong set of aggressive tools in this set. Um, it seems like we need a little bit more to get over the top on certain decks, though. Like, think back to that Gruul deck. It took one loss to being unable to overcome like certain sized bodies, and a couple others to just like wild nonsense. Let's see what we end up in today. All right. I think we're finally playing around in gold. Good feeling for the commons anyway. That's good. Not immediately certain there. I still have my ideas. I still think the Wanderer is the. That's a nothing. Ooh, Hex Gold. Planar Disruption. 1/1 Phyrexian Goblin does not have haste. Kind of like Hex Gold because we haven't really ended up in like the equipment setup, and this is like a really good 2. I've lost a lot of luster on this because a lot of the kill spells just sort of sidestep that draw. Stuff like Planar Disruption. And like you want your payoff for your proliferate lower than 6. This is a constructed card. This is not a. You're not playing this in limited. This is made as like a. This is like a body that's also a Grafdigger's Cage-esque effect. Okay, Hex Gold Halberd. Coming around, we have Crawling. We've got Indoctrination. We've got some blue draw. Sheldred's Head Cleaver ain't where you want to be. That's not really an interesting one. Mere Custodian's not very good. Branch Stalker's fine. Furnace Stalker's always fine. The equipment stuff is white-red. White's got 2 fine commons here. But actually, Indoctrination Attendant is like a card that looks like, okay, you should be playing this with like Toxic, but it actually is a card that picks up the Halberd really well for just like rebuying a 2/2, and I kind of like that. Crawling Chorus is really, really effective as a 1. But I like the Attendant for picking up the Hex Gold Halberd. That's a good combination already. Ooh, well, okay. That's, Raptor's also fine. The white in here looks good. The red lackluster, so maybe we'll have to keep an eye on that. Oil Troll, Scrap Trap's fine. A lot better than an Adamus. Like this card, like compare these two, and this card like loses so terribly. 1 more mana, you get it on coming and dies, and you don't have to lose the body. Anyway, Ossification is effectively no drawback. Like, I don't think there's a single land kill spell for a basic in this set. And exile removal is always fine. X-Cold Slash looking sweet. Another Attendant looking sweet. Veil is fine when we have stuff like Artifact Generation. It's not the worst. Lets you over the top. Complete Devotion with the First Strike and this works fine. We're probably not going to... But Hexgold Slash is just so powerful. The really good thing about Hexgold Slash is that it deals with like 4+ mana threats. Like Indoctrination Attendant and the 4/4 Haste Common die to this. The removal spell that's a 1/4 dies to this. And you can still catch things like a little like that aren't infect, like flyers off guard with it. There's a lot there that okay, well, second Hexgold Slash. There's also somewhere where I could pick up Staff of Completion. Red White can end up with a number of the card name 2/1 Lifelinker that gets bigger, and that can easily offset the staff to like just draw cards and maybe use it as a mana dork. But I really want to cement myself in on this setup. This is looking pretty nice. Where we can go ahead and have these like look at this removal suite. 2 Hexgold Slash and Ossification, 5 picks in. Like that's a place I want to be. Churning Reservoir, there's Manable Justicar, there's Furnace Spellbomb. Churning Reservoir, I've turned more on. I like this card in the deck that it's good in. I don't know if that's us. We don't have anything that's oil, and white doesn't care about oil. We care more about metal. And that might be a Mandible Justicar. It might be the Blade Graft as well. This is like an okay card that gets a lot stronger the more of these, because like then we can pick up the Hexgold Halberd and cast for 1 less. This is a Mono Ritual-ish card. Menace is also good on it. I'll pick it up and see if again. I said I wanted to do the equipment thing, so this is a dead pack. I'm gonna pick Blackcleave Cliffs. The blue in here is okay. Surgeon Synthesizer. This is like okay, but this is like a super dead pack. I'll take the Blackcleave Cliffs. Charge of the Mites is fine. Shrap Slinger is also fine. This is more removal than anything else, but like I don't know. I've been this card's been doing fine things, and like we're not picking up against much in here. Colors are not terribly coming around here. Okay, Volshock Splitter isn't exactly the one I want of these, but like it will be fine. Flying Spellbomb. Bit of blue still in here, yep. We need creatures right now. We're not really. Venomox, thank you very much for the sub. Alright. We have a lot of like removal bits, but not. We need better creatures, especially on 2. You know, we want to be able to start on 1 and 2. That's a nothing. Evolving Adaptive is always really good. Volt Charge is real. Green did not look very open in that last pack, so I'm not really... This doesn't look like a place where I want to just, like, hard swap into green. Orthodoxy Enforcer is actually quite good, because it's really easy to get that double metal. I think there's a 4/4 for 4, and then you can hand it, like, Hexgold Halberd or something like that. Same with Flensing Raptor is also good. We don't need too many more Blade Graves. I'm going to go with the Volt Charge, because this is removal that goes down. I think I've decided it is worse than Hexgold Slash, but the fact that it goes down gives it a lot of leeway. Barbed Batter Fist is a 2 that's also cheap and is some more metal. Skull Dweller. It's also against Crawling Chorus. We're not really a... Well, Crawling Chorus's big thing is just that it's 2 bodies. I kind of like the Barbed Batter Fist to try to get us more curve going here. It's also something that's like fine to start throwing on like Blade Graft We have the toughness to spare. Perhaps we can get over some number thresholds. Another Blackcleave Cliffs. A third Hexgold Slash. Mere Convert. If I wanted to splash black, we could do that off of double Blackcleave Cliffs. Oh, the Ribskiff? Yeah, it's like 4/4 Toxic, 3 draw a card. Its biggest problem is dying to Hexgold Slash. And here, sacrifice. Gold Ward Helm. Free from Flesh. How good is this? This is like +1/+1 or +2/+2. I kind of like this. If it has Toxic. We also have the Helm. Helm's fine. I don't care about Kethic being a 4/4/4. Zealot wants us to have more Infect, not Toxic, but like I still think it's fine. Oh, Nahiri Sacrifice is also better in this deck because you can sack the equipment and not care. Not feel bad about it. Wow. This ain't great. Scamp. Scamp actually is better with the equipment around. That might be fine. We need more equipment. One thing about Scamp is that it looks like those two abilities are linked, but they're not. You get the death trigger no matter what. Also, hey, Azuri. Azuri's quite good. Thrill, no. Shepherd, sure. Blue continues to be just like untouched in this. It's like gotta be a Soulless Jailer. I thought that this card was gonna be a lot better than it actually is. It can't play defense at all. It was really killer for it. 3/3 flyers. Oh boy, that's a. All right. This card is the reason you want this deck. You play, or hell, the reason you play this color combination, because it's a 2/2 double strike for 3, which I don't know if you played other formats like around Scars, but like Mirrored Crusader and Silver, the Silver Knight, the one with Soulbound, like really good stuff. Ardish Furnace Punisher, that's a 3/3. Don't care too much about it. I like the Furnace Punisher. Should I be picking up the Bardiche just for more metal, though? That's way too expensive for what it actually is. Alright, I kind of like the Orthodoxy Enforcer if we got the metal around. We already have one of these. Let's grab the Prophetic Prism. Sure. I don't know if we'll play Plated Onslaught, but this is effectively white for what it does. If we're wide enough, we have a couple might things, that might be fine. Hey, I'm actually happy about Gold Warden Helm coming around. This card's fine. It's not a lot, like, you know, but like it's something we can bounce, something we can replay. Vran's not us. That's not on a lot of this is black. That's terrifying. Sad. Yeah. Devotion basically is just +2/+2, no card. Vanish is something we don't have, but like still want stuff early. I don't have nearly enough down here. Four Chambers and Turian's not super exciting. I might just grab the Vanish. We didn't end up with like the double cliffs. If we did, maybe I'd be interested in Vran a little more. This is not worth a splash in my mind. We like word aggro deck, like very down to the like. If I had the second Blackcleave Cliffs, I'd think a little bit more on it. The problem with splashing in an aggro deck, especially something like this, like, is that one, we have to cut off early colors, and it's going to start looking really bad really quick. Hi, Anic Sentry. And two, like an Edict just isn't something I care to splash for. I would splash for the rare because it has a drain too. But like when we have like 3 Hexgold Slash, Ossification, full charge. I'm not super feeling like we're hurting for removal. Furnace Punisher. Yeah, Annex Sentry's super good. This is like, you know, Fiend Hunt, the like with Toxic. I did 4 toughness is incredible. Ossification, how you doing? Yeah, Ossification it is. I'd like Incisor Glider, maybe. I don't actually know if we hit the Corrupted for this easy. 1 copy of Hazardous Blast wouldn't be bad in this deck either, just as a game ender. But I don't feel like we need to pick it now. This is generally a card that tables, because who wants more than 1 of it? Alright, our removal looks like infinity, like, so... I think the Axiom Engraver is better than the Glider in this deck. Probably, because, like, again, like I said, I don't think we get that Toxic. Like, being able to cycle out lands is really important in late game. What does this do? This costs 5 mana. What? Or 4 mana. I think I probably just want the Lookout. Yes, there's a Hex Gold Slash here, but like I'm already at 3 Hex Gold Slash and I kind of need more bodies. This is something that like holds equipment well and is something like if I get either Hex Gold Halberd or Barbed Fist on it. I don't know. Obviously, you know, hi. Slash. Yeah, this isn't even a choice. This is super strong. Copperline Gorge, Lightbringer, Blazing Crescendo. Lightbringer's pretty good. I like that more than Furnace Punisher. The Furnace Punisher is a 3/3 menace, no text, whereas this is a possible 4/3 if I have it holding a piece of metal. And we have the Haster too. These are all fine cards. I wrote the built-in Menacer. The only card on our color, sure. Sinew Dancer, Bardiche, Exuberant Fuseling. We don't have a ton of metal stuff, but I'm okay with that. Oh, nice. And we get our Hazardous Blast. I want one of... Could take more Aspirant. I wouldn't feel bad having more copies of this, but we do not have a copy of Hazardous Blast. And I want one. Oh, well, we would pick it here, but I actually Axiom Engraver, and that just feels better. I see a lot of our reds still open. Alright, I can get my Aspirant here, and hopefully we get a... Alright. Furnace, and then like the Goblin Marble or something. Wow, those are some nice last cards. Every one of those felt pretty good to see. Alright. Blue, I think, was also an open piece there, but like clearly I'm sticking with this. Forcer. Charge the mites. And then here we get like slash, far slash. Scamp feels like it's gonna be good, especially with like the splitters in the deck. How wide are we for this? Fuseling wants bodies today. We don't have the proliferate for it, so this is just another one. And I think like I'm okay not with it. Good one. Let's set that in there. I don't think Vanish makes it because I don't want to hit 6 Ma. We already have enough removal. I'm not hurting. I'm sorry, this made it up to 47 cards? Hell. Alright. So we need 12 and 18, but those numbers are fake because a ton of our equipment is like... The worst equipments are the, like... So Hexfield, Halberd, and... Oh my god, I can't, like, move things without seeing anything. These are kind of the worst piece of equipment, but, like, they're still fine. Splitter actually gets the job done a lot. I'm not actually impressed by Ward Golder's helm too much. The toughness has not been super big. It's just like a 2-3. Bodies are so much better than 2-3s these days. This is a 4-2, and a 4-2 sucks still, but a 4-2 like still moves around. Is there any equipment that doesn't have summon in 2-2? There's sort of Frontier and Forge? That's not even a saying. Like, that's not even a paired word. Because, like, Ice and Fire, Feast and Famine, War and Peace. Like, sort of Fast and Furious, yeah. Damn. Wow, they've messed that one up. Can't believe it. We could have had a sword all about family. And instead, like... Let's cut the helms. Let's cut... Onslaught or Hazardous Blast? That's the question, right? These are kind of the same-ish thing. There are a card that sort of pierces. Ooh, our curve looks annoying. I don't want to cut. I want to cut more stuff up here. Yeah, I guess the big point is, like, this isn't, like, there's no trample, this is Trumpet Blast. Whereas, like, this is Falter. Move that, I cut that and cut the Might. It's still removal at the end of the day. I know that I'm looking at, like, 3/, 2 Ossification, Annex Sentry, Volt Charge, so I'm not feeling like I'm, like, too necessary on removal, but, like, at the same time... We have not talked about Shepherd. I'm still thinking about it as, like, a way, like, part of the fact that we have, like, evasion. Because this can pick up the War Whip, too, you know? Like... If we just need to go to town. And 1-drop might be better than the 2-drop I put in, but sometimes the 2-drop is going to be shatter. Nice. We're using the new one. Terrifying. Easy. Alright, that got a lot easier. Alright, Boros on our opponent's side. That might not be the correct play, but it's... Okay, if they just want to play support cards forever, I'm just going to let them. That's fine by me. I'll just attack for 3 and play removal on every creature they play from this point forward. Wellspring is when a creature control dies, oil on it, and then 2 oil, draw a card. And it scries 1. Alright, so 4-drop. Alright, want to draw a 3rd land for Furnace Punisher pretty soon here. Thank you. We're going to get Furnace Punisher down first, because I want to get the most powerful menace creature down first. We also have 2 more removal spells left over. This doesn't do anything. It's, if they have 2 or less, they have to have 2 basics for it to not damage you, so... Yeah, so Ossification is the one I want to spend. Okay, they're tapping out for a Volt Charge. That's okay. They get a card off the Wellspring, but we're still pushing at them. I get to play Blade Graft Aspirant here. And Blade Graft lets me play the Volshock Splitter, so... We still control Volt Charge and Ossification. I want to spend Ossification first, because Volt Charge can go Dome. Alright. Well... This has 3 toughness, it lines up too nicely. Okay. Alright, so, our opponent spent a lot of time spinning wheels. Like, you know, we've got Skull Bomb, Sword, Wellspring. And, like, they got value out of Wellspring, but, like, they needed forward progress on the board. Even we stumbled a little bit, but... Because we missed our 3, they could have taken advantage of that, but, like, we had enough removal to just kind of keep them out. That was the question I was thinking early, was I could have sacked the 2-2, or even the 1-1 in the air, or the 1-2 in the air, to, kill that sword. But the question is, like, am I planning on killing that sword and playing, like, a long game, or am I planning on killing them before the sword becomes relevant? And the answer was the second one. It's a good sword. Yo, that's a good, buddy. Alright, what do we got here? I couldn't really ask for a better looking hand than this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, if I'm just looking at hands in the general, like, this is pretty damn good. Now that I think about the Shepherd, I'm not super happy with the 5 in the deck, but, like... Alright, so I can just blast that if need be. Are we in the Boros queue? Is that what's going on here today? Then they play the War Whip or something. Shit. We're in the Boros queue. Play my own War Whip. Let's go. I was really, really hoping to draw a fourth land there. Oh, this is incredible. Yeah, I need to block here. I don't like leaving this up because, like, I can't kill with X gold, but I also need to, like... Sure. Okay, now we can do some board clearing, so I can go Ossification on the 2-3, and when they equip the Deep Faith, I can shock it. Oh, that feels good. All right. Correct answers everywhere. Let's go. Easy. So this costs one less to target this. Ossification isn't a regular enchantment because they want it to be something that you have to hold back in, that you have to, like... Oh, this is kind of terrifying. In control decks, like constructed control decks, you don't just get a freebie. You have to have a basic to enchant. Boy howdy, that Furnace Strider sure is a kick in the ass.
So how many will be one of?
A couple? Few? I'm not... Some?
Every now and again, there might be one or two.
Yeah. Seems that way.
I have not followed this set's release, spoiler schedule, or anything. I have no idea what it's like, aside from seeing a couple of cards.
Fairly aggressive. There's, like, nothing as far as, like, mana outlets go in the world, so... Like, you don't want to get stuck in a late game situation that easy. Please attack with your 4-5. I really want that 4-5 coming in.
Makes sense that another Phyrexia focus set would be reasonably aggressive. And also, immediately following off one of the slower formats, like actually a suite of slow formats, basically.
This is dangerous. That doesn't change my thought process on it. I'm sorry, you got another blade. Oh. Okay, alright. Well... So next turn, they can play a second Blade Hold War Whip. Oh yes, we've just been all so far today. It's been Boros v Boros every game. So,
Okay, yeah, yep. Boros v Boros every game is. This has been it's been like a week since this came out, right?
Yeah, a week.
It's kind of two phases of Boros v Boros being dominant. It's either when the set is new, because you know aggression always slightly overperforms in limited formats, because it's consistent.
Yep.
And also when later down the line people realize, oh yeah, no, this is just a format in which aggro is the only way to go. And it kind of takes a while to figure out which is which.
Okay, so equips on. We're playing Equips the World here. And everything is cheaper because of War Whips. They can attack me for... They could have gotten an extra point of damage there. That might matter. Because I can get in for 8 next turn. Ooh.
That's Shepherd online.
Yeah, so Shepherd is weird in that it's like, it looks on paper like it's Gladiator Ranger, but you can't block with the Knights.
Oh, yeah. All right, fair.
But
it doesn't need to be tapped. You don't have... Oh, well, okay, you just win. Sure.
So...
I feel like that's early.
Not really. The fifth land, was not about this. It was about equipping Blade Hold War Whip.
Oh, okay. Yes, sorry. This is... I saw the first set of text. I did not see equipped creature as double strike.
That is the... Yeah, so that's why my opponent having 2 of these is, like, messed up. That we're having...
Also, worth noting, because I've brought this up before to you, that's the first piece of Naya equipped, like, mana cost in the mana cost equipment in the game.
And it's true. We were talking about this a while back. And this one's, like, wildly strong at uncommon. One thing I will say about this set, there are... Obviously, every set has this. You know, bomb rares at Mythic, bomb rares at Rare. But
yeah,
common and uncommon have some wildly powerful tools that you wouldn't expect the power level of, like, a common to be at across a number of colors.
All right, I'm into that.
It's like, let me see if we have any of the ones in my mind in here. I think we just have, like, ones you would expect, like, you know, Ossification. This is Journey to Nowhere that hits walkers. Annex Sentry, which is a Fiend Hunter-ish card. But, like, at common in this set, there's like a 4/4 haster for 5 in green.
4/4 haste for 5 in green, huh? Okay.
With Toxic 3 as well. You have to be very careful of green just going, and you're dead? Like, you can't leave yourself with no blockers against them. Or else they can just
so I guess as part of the shift away from green vigilance and putting it more in blue, they're doing more green haste. It's kind of interesting.
Because haste has always been...
It's always been a thing in green. Like, it actually has been around in green forever. Usually, it just usually was put on...
Pushed, constructed
aggressive,
cards.
Powerful, aggressive, push constructed green creatures.
It's
which
not,
is why we've called it historically the Vengevine clause.
Yeah, it's not always pushed constructed cards, but Vengevine was the big one. Sweet. Yeah. What a hand.
Death Mist Raptor, I think, also had haste. Or was that the morph weapon?
No, that one had a morph, but like even like Strangleroot Geist or Quest DB.
Yeah, Questing Beast. Yeah, Questing Beast is probably the more relevant one now because it's. But also, there's not a single line of text on Questing Beast that can be like used as justification for anything. I feel like.
No. All right, I'm not spending my. All right, please play a tap land. Damn it.
I saw a clip from someone doing like a game show for how well someone knew Magic the Gathering, and Literally, the only thing on one of them is what part of this of questing beast shouldn't be on here.
Now, that's not a that can't be a game show question.
But the thing is, it's hard because like there's so many lines of text on questing beast and none of them make sense.
Yeah.
So sweeping lookout. This is the 1/2 flyer with vigilance, right? For 1.
Yeah. In here, it's nice because it's like,
This is an equipment heavy set, so obviously this is good.
wow, our opponent just, they didn't even move any dunes. All right, I'm gonna move in with just sweeping lookout, play hover wings, and then next turn I'm gonna actually blast away all their X1s. Like, I'm not gonna do it now because I have a flyer to deploy, which I feel is more important in my mind.
The easiest keyword to forget on questing beast is that it has death touch for some reason.
It does. So this is Hexgold Hover Wings is one of the other equipment payoffs in this set.
Creatures you control that are equipped get +1/+0. Nice.
Also, did my opponent just make more 1/1s?
They did.
Hey, wait a minute.
That rules.
Hey, you want to make more 1/1s? I don't need you to.
Just flood the board with them. Commit as hard as you can.
A 2/2? Sure. Anyway, hey, how do you feel about you not having a board?
Oh wow, that's a one-sided one?
One,
Huh.
it's a falter too. Creatures can't. You play it as your 23rd because it's falter on the second. Have the text.
Yeah, the fault. But that first line of text can come up sometimes, and like this exact moment.
Mm-hmm. Combat damage can't be prevented coming up on that one stream. Yeah, where we had a.
For what it's worth, I overlooked that cost 4.
Yes, that's very expensive. All right. Equip on this is.
I do think it's very fun that they made inverse living weapon.
Yeah, well, it lets them balance it better.
Yeah, that too. It's just that, yeah, living weapon was kind of really. Some of them were unplayable, some of them were amazing.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, I'm willing to spend my removal on their flyer here. Oh, sorry, I target over here. Then we move this. Oh, I probably should have. I just mean Barb. That was a misdamage. I would have had. I can still have lethal next turn. It's fine.
I was more saying like, yeah. So living weapon was an iconic Phyrexia.
Yes, yeah.
And
now
it's the
now
mirror
it's the mirrored
resistance version.
Yeah, because heck, the name is even like
For Mirrodin, which is gonna make it like
stuck in.
You probably shouldn't have called it
This
that,
is
guys.
maybe-
You can't
this
put
is-
it anywhere else now.
My complaint with the name For Mirrodin is that this token does not yell For Mirrodin when it comes into play.
That's a good complaint.
Like why?
I feel like.
It should have a a literal Hearthstone For Mirrodin call out when it does its thing.
Mm-hmm. It's also the most extreme version of the Bushido problem in like the game.
Yeah.
Sorry, ninjutsu problem. Bushido has its own issues.
Yeah, like I like it for letting them balance the equipment in a more like you don't end up with because the body's the 2/2, you don't end up with equipment that is like batter skull
A 0,
level.
yeah,
like,
a 0/0.
Yeah. And I can move around this stuff and it feels fine.
Mm-hmm.
Voice code variety in this set's pretty bad overall. Yeah. Okay, that wasn't a Boros match. they got rid of the red for black, which is the other color combination I've seen a lot of.
White black.
Yeah, white and red feel quite deep. White especially feels like it almost has nothing. Like, if I'm looking at white commons, I basically think everything's playable. Like,
yeah, that makes sense.
That's
how it's been for a bit, the past like year or so, as it is, and then this is also the set about Elishnorn,
right.
well, one of the two sets about Elishnorn. So of course, the white is going to be, had a lot of attention put into it.
The lions making them meow, that's an issue. Diane 11th. Man, every hand. This, you know what? Okay.
You never complain about
now here's what I want.
Getting your great one drop.
I want my opponent to play a tapped land on 1. Please. I need a tapped land on 1. Well, fine.
Not tapped, but it is an island.
I have 1 lookout. Damn. Okay. Because Furnace Punisher hits you for...
Oh, hi, Venser.
When you proliferate, make a 3/3. This is a good card. This is actually one of the, in my mind, for this color combination, really damn strong. There's a ton of proliferate in both sides of this. Let me make this text a little bigger, more readable. If you don't control the Hollow Sentinel, make the Hollow Sentinel, which is just a 3/3 golem that looks like Karn. And if you have it, you can give an artifact flying lifelink. But yeah, this is the reason I want them to play a tapped land. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, unless they control 2 basics, they take 2.
It's kind of neat just as a, not only is it obviously it's more powerful and constructed, but also it's a 3/3 for 3 with Menace.
Yeah, like I'm fine with that.
In
limited, this has no text, but a 3/3 with Menace is a card I'm willing to play.
Yeah, 3/3 with Menace for 3 is already fine and limited.
Yeah. So my worry here is that if they're able to just proliferate around, we have the problem of the Venser of like they're just able to trade with my board slowly. Venser also has lifelink. Okay.
Lifelink and Toxic 1.
So due to that, I'm not really willing to go in with this 3/1 here. Because it's just going to trade with whatever proliferate trick they play. However, this, even if they proliferate, I just go ahead and get to kill Venser. So, well, I guess their trick is -1/-1. Annoying. This doesn't hand off flying, it hands off +1 power. Okay, so end step anticipate with proliferate on it. End step bounce spell with proliferate on it. Okay. That's fine.
Oh, interesting. Right, this is something that they don't do very often. Equipment that also have static effects on them.
Yeah, this is, it's an anthem. Well,
yeah, it's an anthem
so one thing that's going to be really strong here is that, say, next turn I just go equip Punisher. And then move this over here and check this out.
3-1-4-3.
So they do have, so vents are lifelinks, and they can make the token lifelink. So, like, their 4 life total here is kind of fake. Oh, damn, 2 flying blockers.
Scourge.
If I draw any kill spell, they die. They needed exactly 2 flyers to block this flying menace with 4 power. They're gonna go to 5. We have a ton of draws that kill them on the spot here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna take 2 poison. They're gonna go to 5. What does that do?
It forces them to double block.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Kills both of theirs. It kills your Furnace Punisher.
But
You can play a second one or the Splitter afterwards. Probably the second one because the evasion's more useful.
yeah,
Or, well, I mean, the Splitter could theoretically... No, it can't kill them next turn.
so
if
this
it's
is
gonna be
free
double
because
block,
they're forced to take this double block.
Yeah. And it's Vigilance as well, so... Basically lets you do it again next turn if you gotta.
Yeah, that's the thought process, is that I can just do this again.
Like, you can even gain another life and it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, if they can lifelink the token, that's strong. But the trick is that, like, so lifelinking the token... Fuck. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, you won't stop me.
Ah, fucking hell. Okay, so we've lost our entire board.
Rough.
Yeah, yeah. Of 1 creature
I
can.
can run circles around you.
But they have to hit me for that, which they can do because this menaces. Okay. So they get to bounce Shieldred's Head Cleaver to double activate Kaito. And that'll make Sweeping Lookout unable to... But then they're dead? Wait a minute.
Maybe they're overlooking your equipment?
Because they go to 5.
Infiltrations.
They're going to bounce the... Yep, they have to bounce that to get a double activation of Kaito. They activate on Sweeping Lookout, so it can't move. But then I just move all the equipment over to Token.
You can't fight what you can't see.
Yeah, they overlooked giving it flying, right?
Well, they don't have a choice. This isn't overlooking, this is desperation.
Right, okay.
Or is that not enough to go in for lethal?
Oh, that's a 4th one. Right, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Right, they gained a life.
Right, yeah.
I can't even kill Kaito.
What does Hex Gold Slash do? Is this a shock?
A shock or 4 to an
Toxic creature. Okay,
Yeah, so I can
well, that lets you kill Venser.
Yeah. I guess I'd probably just take that then. Well,
do it on your end step, I guess. Or
Yeah.
is that maybe keep it on for something else? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't know this format.
I'm gonna go with kill it now so that they can't lifelink the token. I feel like that's more important. Keeping them on one with 3 bodies and the ability to move flying, like, Kaido's really good. Kaido makes these 2/2s that drain 2 life. Kaido draws cards on 0. Kaido can double activate. And Kaido, of all the cards they could have played, Kaido is maybe one of maybe like 2 that could have possibly gotten them out of the situation they're in.
But they have to hit you. Well, they're going to be able to hit you, right? Ooh, blue equipment. That's rare.
This one's cool. The body comes into play as a clone, and when you move the blade causes that creature to become a clone of a card you control.
That's neat. Also, this is a legendary creature, right? The token.
Yes.
So that's their oversight.
Funnily enough, that's not even a choice. Yeah, no, it is a May. They could have not done that.
It's a new format, and that's an easy oversight to make. It's
I'm
actually very easy to forget about the legend rule these days, I feel like.
So they can bounce this token
Press our
to
advantage.
double activate Kaito, and that'll keep them alive because they did get rid of one of my creatures. They can double plus,
I can run circles around you.
you know,
That should be enough of a distraction.
but I can also just play this Volshock equipment. Get down another threat and pass. Because they have no creatures left. They can't do that trick again.
Last time I forgot about the legend rule was just playing a Takenuma swamp.
Oh.
And I mean, it was
Sometimes the
but it
winning
wasn't
move is
that
to sit
bad
and
because it
watch.
still let me play something, you know, because you can sack the one you've already tapped.
Yes, you
So it
can.
gets you another bit of
You
mana
can use
that
it as
way.
like a land that sacks itself for mana.
Yeah.
All right, we did get there. It looks like. Again, Kaido putting as much work as it possibly can here.
Kaido has let them survive 3 more turns, more than they were supposed to.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, like I was legitimately worried that Kaido was a card that, oh sweet, that could have turned the corner.
With some other backup, it probably could have.
Yeah,
But they needed some other backup.
They needed if they had one small evasive creature left over, like if they had specifically like maybe had this Siphoner still as something they could replay every turn for the attacks, or even like Venser getting through might have been enough. Yeah, good to see a lot of the stuff in here. By the way, Black has some pretty nice removal in this set. Anoint is its common thing that gets small and big bits. Vraska's Fall lets it... There's a number of cards that just hand you poison counters.
Hands you poison counter. Hands you poison counter. Hands you poison counter.
Indeed.
I was playing a game of Commander against Zorak and Red a couple nights ago, and Zorak had set up a poison counter based deck. I forget exactly what commander it was though. Oh, it was Ixal, and it was actually pretty fun. Still there, baby.
This is today's Dune mover. Like, anyway.
And the fun thing about Ixal, as far as being a poison-based commander goes, is that it's a poison-based commander that doesn't actually really want to win by poison, which is kind of a fun sort of trick on it.
Right, because that one has corrupted as one of its things, right?
It's the one that when every other player has 3 or more,
Yeah.
they basically they get a card from you.
Yeah.
Ripped off the top. And the interesting thing about that is that while those cards are there, you actually don't need Ixal on the board to cast them. Basically, what I'm getting at is that as far as like poison-based commanders go, it's like one of the least frustrating ones that you can have.
Okay, we're cleaning up a little bit here. Now my sweeping lookout is carrying the fist. Ooh. This is one of the best commons in green because, as you'll notice, this is a 3/3 for 3 that's also like Civic Wayfinder, basically. It's messed up. Yeah, poison is still 10 in Commander. It's why
That's why it can be very frustrating because it's basically quadruple damage.
you'll find decks in Commander, for instance, that play Triumph of the Hordes, and no other card in the deck that generates, you know,
No other card that has infect
or
even,
poison
like
or
nothing.
anything. Just Triumph of the Hordes, because Triumph of the
Because
Hordes
it kills you in
effectively
10
gives you-
damage.
Because it effectively gives your creatures quad strike.
Yeah, you basically pick up a Quake quad damage bonus, and then you win.
Okay. I'm gonna play this 5th land because I want to leave up Volt Charge, basically. The fact that our opponent didn't block and didn't play a 4 there is kind of wild. They have a 5th land. We know it from the Vorak. Again, this card's wildly powerful for a common. I want them to attack. Okay, you're not the aggressor today, but... that's fine. What is this?
They have some flash blocker or something, right? Or no?
You must die! What is this?
I don't understand what their plan was.
I don't... Okay, so, like, not having plays there, I can understand. You know, like, okay, I get it. Like, we don't have plays, we can't, like, do anything.
But they didn't do
What do
the
you-
things that would keep them alive longer.
What are you doing attacking me? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it kind of sucks to trade with you the splitter because I can move it, but, like, you're at 10. All right. Yeah, I don't know if... So, as far as flash stuff goes, I don't know if green has a flash blocker.
Understandable.
Hoverbike is basically a flash blocker. Then again, maybe they were just assuming we didn't have a burn spell, and, like... I don't know. Gruul's actually a really interesting deck in this format. It plays really heavily on oil counters. So it can be a little bit feast or famine if your cards don't line up correctly. But, like, the payoff cards are... No! Okay, we have a 1-drop.
But it's the first time you're without your,
I know. We don't have...
your buddy.
We don't have our 1/2 flyer. Oh, I thought they were going to play the 1/2 flyer, and I was just going to fall over dead immediately. This card can proliferate by sacrificing when it hits a player, but more importantly, it deals its damage because of its power when it, hits. Or when it dies.
So kind of a Mog fan.
Which is all to say I'm going to trade with the rat.
Yeah.
And if something goes wrong, I have Hex Gold Slash. Red Green's good follow, but yeah. Alright, so let's get this dead. Like this rat, by the way. It's a nice too.
Yeah.
Alright. My hope is that their 3 is... Oh, yeah. My hope was that their 3 was something I could slash.
How about it's nothing?
I'll take that. I still have Annex Sentry, Ossification, and Hex Gold in hand, so I'm running pretty hot as far as... Alright, they're going to bounce a land for this? Now, a cool thing about this 4-drop, it's very powerful,
But it does have toxic.
but... Hexold Halberd's also one I'm pretty happy to draw here. This 3-drop, by the way, 2/3 menace, so you lose a point off that uncommon. Equipment costs 1 less. Equipment activated that target its costs 1.
Oh wow. That's a common?
Yes!
Holy shit!
Gets a lot done, doesn't it?
That is a powerful ass common. Wow.
Another common.
That card's art is amazing.
Another common. I was going to say the art of triangle. You know, triangle man.
Triangle man is impressive.
Yeah. This is Doom Traveler with toxic and toxic. It's quite strong. This can't block, so I'm pushing in. Phyrexian Atlas is kind of bad. This is like your Manolith in the set. Like, you really don't want to be playing this. Avoid it. But you kind of have to sometimes. We're going to go ahead and play out Hexgold Halberd.
Oh, first strike and trample on a single piece of equipment.
Yeah. And then let's move in. This set they're trying to... There was a video that Gavin had talking about how they're trying to move towards quick draw a little more. First strike on your turn.
Right, yes, that makes sense.
Because of the reason that quick draw exists.
Because first strike is a mechanic that is actually kind of problematic math-wise and very powerful. Always has been.
I'm sorry, is that a 5-drop with like...
Problem with first strike is that, like, all right, so first strike is an ability that warps math in combat by itself, and also is relatively rare and only really present in 2, technically 3 colors. And so your ways around, like, all right, let's make it so that first strike can be altered in some manner to make it less warping. So, okay, we can put it in all colors. Oh, that has the problem of making every creature that doesn't have first strike bad, basically.
And then there's the like the defender's first strike.
Yeah,
right. As Undersoul says, yeah.
Yeah, of course, it's not going to go away forever. Obviously,
Yeah.
It's just that they might be making regular first strike rarer.
It's
time.
It's something that is something to like keep in mind, because like
Yeah,
defender's first strike is one of those things that, like, if you're ever on the other side of it in limited, where like your opponent just has like 2 or 3 first strikers, and like you just if there's 6 points of first strike, nothing can move in. You because you triple block, cool, you lose everything, you lose whatever, and that just leads to a very slow down, like a game state that slows the hell down. Anyway, yeah, our opponent had like, this is actually quite nice as far as like what we see for toxic. The problem was a little bit more like Blight Belly Rat was followed by nothing on 3, and then Attendant on 4 that got killed. And 1 mana to kill 4 mana puts them so far on the back foot to this.
yeah.
Like, there's just not a lot left. Yeah, they also mentioned the changing to as long as it's your turn rather than while this card is attacking, specifically as like a thing so that when you're playing on Arena, you see the little first strike icon during your turn. So that you know, oh, it has first strike, rather than like that icon appearing when you swing. It's like, oh, right, this has first strike. Like,
Now there was one opponent in Gruul. They just died
Yeah.
very quickly.
See,
because
here's
they
the thing, Shabadoo. This is, I think, the best deck I've drafted in this format. And look, here's the thing about this deck. I passed a Hex Gold Slash. That's how good our removal is I went, no thanks. Like, we have like 7 pieces of super strong removal and creatures that are just like, good? Anyway, this is where we can lose 3 out here and we're still on 6 wins, so. Demons of Resgriz.
No 1-drop. You're loose. You're gonna die.
I'm gonna die. No, oh, no, I'm on the
They have
draw.
a non-basic.
No!
Let's go.
I'm not gonna get there in time, though. Get the fuck out of here with that. Absolutely not. This is the,
Oh, it's one of these.
This card has been printed like 4 times now. Adanto Vanguard.
Yeah, and they're also usually 3/1s.
they're 3/1s that are ass kickers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Prophetic Prism. Not missing a land drop, not missing a land drop. And getting the chorus. Alright. Prophetic Prism, doing good work there. I am going to go ahead and discard a Plains here.
Yeah, you only need 2 ever, right? So.
Yeah. Technically, there's 1 card at 5 mana, but, like... I'm also not going to Hex Slash that. We're going to Hex Gold Hoverwings first, because I'd love to pick up Hex Gold Hoverwings. With the Attendant. Because it would make a free 2/2 for me. Wiggle.
Wiggle.
Sure. A little awkward to pick up the Hex Gold now, because I'll lose my flyer. I think I might just go with picking up a land. Could also just choose to take 3 here. Now, if I did that, I should have attacked first. Okay. Pretty easy block. We're losing a token. We're keeping the... Top 3 cards of the library, 1 in hand, rest of grave. Okay. And a spell bomb to pick up there. Feature, alright.
They have 2 non-basics.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not. It's 2 basics.
Oh, unless they control 2.
That's why I want them to play a non-basic on 1, so that when they're on turn 3 at their upkeep, they have a non-basic and 1 basic, and they take 2 damage for free.
I see. Okay.
A little awkward, but I'm actually going to ossify this 4/1, because I don't want it to trigger. Now, this is 3 to equip or 2 to equip on Aspirant, which is nice. It costs them 3 to draw Spellbomb. Draw Spellbomb, came back. The Bladed Ambassador, Shepherd, or crawlers. I think they get back the shepherd. Oh no, they're getting back the... Okay, no, it is the shepherd. Good. Figure that had to be the pick there. Yep. And then you start... This is what tokens do. You press your advantage. Or you press with those. Alright, put him to 11.
And you have 2 removal spells.
Yeah, we can't remove the flyer if they just slam that down.
That looks like they're gonna do, or...
No!
Phyrexian Obliterator!
Phyrexia Obliterator, huh? Okay.
Phyrexian Obliterator in the...
Okay.
I was gonna say flesh, but... Phyrexian Obliterator. How you doing, buddy? Still horrifying, as always.
Move over here. So I can't kill them on the spot. Because I need to move the flying over here because this is menace, this is menace. Okay, opponent is on 2. We're holding a bolt.
All you have to do is have...
All I have to do is untap. Untap with 3 mana. Which we have...
Oh, right. I was about to just say, wait, don't you have 3? No, that's the enchantment
that's the
on the
enchantment
planes,
on
and then
the
there's the card
planes.
underneath the enchantment on the planes. Oh, Phyrexian Obliterator. Holy
shit. I hope they play some way to deal damage to it. Okay, so 1 known, 1 unknown.
Gain life? No!
You gain X life.
Okay, they'll gain 6, and then they generate also 6 1/1s that can't block. But also destroy all the creatures.
Son of a bitch.
Man.
I mean, blowing up their own Obliterator won them the game.
Your Falter would have done it, but I think that's about it, right?
Yeah,
So
that was the only card. Like, this is unplayable around. You just can't do it. Especially with the gain X life on the Wrath. Like, you just... That's fine. I'll take that loss, you know?
Yeah.
We'll accept that one. See,
Man, following up Phyrexian Obliterator with White Sun's Twilight, Mythic into, like, Bomb Mythic into Bomb Rare.
Yeah.
Also, being able to play both of those in a game of Limited, wow.
Yeah. So their deck contained both the 3-drop rock that taps for mana and the Prophetic Prism for very obvious reasons. Now, like, you know, when you have Phyrexia and Obliterator in your deck, yeah, you absolutely need to include as much, you know, as much like fixing as possible in there, and Prophetic Prism does get the job done. Okay. Oh, thank God. Back to one of these normal games. I actually need to lead with Scamp. So that I can hold up Slash next turn. Ah, Boros Mirror.
The Filigree Silex.
Ratchet Bomb.
I see. Okay.
I'm not playing my 1-drop anymore. I'll decline those. So this is remove 10. This is Ratchet Bomb, legendary, with the final line that says remove 10 oil to shoot for 10. Other than that, it's exactly, it's Ratchet Bomb.
With just oil counters for flavor.
Yeah. So, like, I want to use the Sentry on their War Whip. Okay, they beat me to playing the War Whip, but thank you. It is important that I use the Sentry on the War Whip rather than a real card, because they won't get the body back. Anyway. I could make a mistake there. Hit Itsugu's Ratchet Bomb? Yeah. Okay, so 1-drops are now safe to play. I don't want to play Furnace Punisher into this too cleanly.
Because you don't want to get rid of 3s. Yeah.
Probably ossify that and play my 1. I'm actually okay with them getting rid of 3s on the board they have, but... Ossification sucks here.
It's permanence on the Silex, right?
Yeah, non-land permanence.
And ossification's a 2, which they have
Yeah, so
at right now.
So if I try to hit it, they just blow it up. I'll force them to 2 for 2 against my 3-drops. Because I do want this off the board. Like, Blade Hold War Whip is clearly a problem. If they go land, equip Blade Hold War Whip, I'd feel really good. They're holding the Silex on 2? That's scary. Okay. You got it. Pump spell. Oof. So we got the pump spell out of them rather than them using it on the trick on a double striker. So, not the worst, not the best. Yeah, at this point, if we get hit with the Scamp, I can force the Ratchet Bomb to 3. If I draw like a... This is Equip. Equip for 4, by the way. This makes your equips cost 1 less. Okay. Luckily, we have this trade here, and then... Scamp out to prevent me from taking 8. Their final card was another burn spell. Okay. I need... They're not going to push it to 3.
They might specifically be playing around ossification. Like,
I think it's also that, like, they just don't want to blow up their own war whips with it, because that is what it would do. They'd lose all their double strike.
right, yeah.
We're going to play Bladecraft here, because Bladecraft will trade with this Rebel. Again, our biggest problem is the 4/4 double striker. We just need some sort of answer to that. I don't know what, though. They have a land that can cycle. His body's worthless.
There are no useless cards in my deck. Sacrifice a creature, destroy target artifact and opponent controls. That's pretty solid. Now, here's the question. Do you do the Silex?
I think we hit the Silex, like we need, and then we can ossify.
Yeah, because then you could hit actually both that and the Enforcer if you do that.
And then what they have left is the 2/2 double striker, which we can trade with. And then hopefully Shepherd comes around on this. Okay. I think also I sacked the Slinger itself because I care more about the Flyer right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. They're
It's like a
gonna draw.
good shatter. Having it be on a bear.
Yeah, it's sack a creature, not itself.
Yep.
It works in this deck. I don't like it a ton because like we don't have free bodies a lot.
Yeah, but still fine in and of itself, I feel like. It's
Right, like right here, it's exactly what we goddamn need.
yeah.
Like I
You
need
played
this-
Sorcery Speed's Shatter, which you kind of just had to do.
Any land top deck gets a Shepherd. So goodbye to you. Draw a card. We know that was coming. An attack for 1. Alright. We need our cards to be more valuable than theirs. If I play Shepherd, that'll trade with the Raptor.
That lets you attack with the one you already have.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
Cool.
Interesting.
Damn, we need an answer to the Raptor, because the Raptor's gonna be double strike 4 in the air. It's also gonna be double infect or whatever, but like that's not.
Yeah, the poison's not real at this point. You're gonna take damage if you're gonna die.
Okay. Hello. Alright, so Flying Blocker. We can trade with Raptor. That's on the ground. Go to 4. No hand left out of them. Our crackback right now is 8, but that's not their life total, so we don't do it. What the hell just happened? They played Hazardous Blast. Creature can't block and deal 1 damage to all creatures. We got rid of all of our pests. Pests, mites, whatever they are. Alright, so we are now sitting in a top deck war. If they can remove our flyer, they're in. Ooh. That's quite real. We're gonna put pressure on them with the Blade Graft. That's a draw and a half. Do I have lethal? That sure looks like lethal.
Ooh, very spicy. Having to outplay the very effective Boros deck that got two, more than one bomb uncommon.
Yeah.
A draft archetype in and of itself is pretty hard.
Like, and they were playing pretty tightly on a lot of their movements. We had to have, they burned a combat trick on one of ours. They were able to burn a shock to kill one of our creatures in combat. The top deck of our flying anthem, like, that gave us another flyer, and that was poof. Sure. All right, 7-1. That's my first 7 on this format.
Nice.
We've actually, I think it's been like 3-3, 3-3, 4-3, 6-3 has been the draft so far. Maybe one more 3-3.
So at average at worst and better, better from then on.
Yeah, there might have been a 2. No, I don't think there was a 2-3 in there. But yeah, this is the deck I feel like has been the most powerful deck I've played in the format, just based on having. We have a lot of the times, like, we've built a deck when we've come at it and been like, damn, removal in here looks a little light, or damn, don't really like the curve on this one. But this one, like, I don't think I can ask for better than, like, Hexgold Slash, Ossification, Annex Entry, Volt Charge.
Your removal is extremely sick.
Removal's all out there, and, like, the bodies are doing well. We had our Swooping Lookout out for us, so, like, 6 of our games.
Is there a single rare in this deck?
Is there a rare in this deck? No.
No, doesn't look like it. I feel like that's pretty healthy to see. Of course, you got the.
Well, like, it.
But I feel like it's pretty healthy to see like a 7-1 deck that is made up entirely out of commons and uncommons.
This is just bread butter, right? Like, this is just your, like, and even if our opponent does slam certain bombs, we're not without options when we have removal this strong.
Right.
Obviously, what are you going to do about White Sun's Twilight? Very little. but that's like a no, like, the way you beat that card is kill them before they hit 7, right? Like, but yeah, really happy with. I really liked the equipment, like, and the blade raft was like, this smoothed everything out. That was really nice. Shepherd was like basically a 3-3 flyer with no text, and that's okay. Evasion still wins games of limited, so I don't mind that much. Yeah. Very happy with this deck. Let's go open some packs and look at some more cards from this set. Like, this is, like, so new Phyrexia, I do this all the time. Phyrexia All-Be-One had its spoiler, like, basically jump out all at once. Like,
it was very, very, like, slow, because it was actually, previews for All Will Be One started a long time ago, but it was, like, slow at first. And then the real spoiler just kind of happened all in one day.
Yeah, like, well, what happened was a Portuguese box was opened, like a couple days into spoiler season, and it had every card in the set basically, other than like a dozen, like a couple rares and like some uncommons that just weren't pulled somehow. So like all of a sudden the entire set was leaked, and spoiler is just sort of like, and then here's the full spoiler. So I don't like the back half of the set. I don't really know that well. So a lot of the like uncommons I've been learning as we go. Like, but we've been learning. So that green has a epic confrontation by another name.
Yep. Makes sense.
Proliferate payoff. This is effectively your not Venser proliferate payoff. Good card.
Good old resistance guy over here who is actually a reference to a previous card. I don't remember
Yes.
exactly, but it's like a 5. I think it was like a 5-mana 5/4 with reach or something like that. It wasn't.
It was a smaller body. This was I think it was on New Phyrexia? Which I can't pull up in here, but like...
Yeah, but he was just an ogre at the time, and now he's drafted in.
Rebel.
He's a rebel.
What's this? Oh, sure. Okay.
Okay, it's the cancel variant of the set.
Yeah, well, you always get cancel with upside because cancel alone isn't enough. And that's so proliferating the set is costed at like 0 mana, basically, like 0.5. Like it's costed.
This
at
is like 0.5 because it's conditional whether or not it happens.
But like there's a number of there's a number of proliferate cards we'll see in the set that are just like, wow, that's Green Dominus. Oh yeah.
Zopandrel Hunger Dominus.
Right, we had the opponent drop this on us on that last turn where they needed any creature and they played the largest possible any creature. We were dead to
Double the power and toughness of each creature you control until end of turn.
Yes.
Wow.
And then each of the Dominuses have double Phyrexian mana and then some other effect kind of related to what they do. To
eat 2 things and you get 4 life. To eat 2 things, get a indestructible 4/6 reach.
Yeah.
That's actually on your turn an indestructible 8/12 reach, huh?
Yeah, on all turns, each combat.
Each combat. Sorry, yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
No, this card's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, so each of the Dominuses, it's not they have 2 sack 2 creatures. It's something generally related to what their ability does. This doubles creatures, and you have to eat the creatures to make them. I do like that it uses indestructible counters. That's nifty. Still using those from when they were crafted. One of the nicer. This thing's like
it's
fine.
a tapper. It's a 4-cost activated tapper, but the corrupted
the corrupted turns it into lawn keeper. So like.
I believe I've played a 1-mana 4-cost tapper flat in limited before, but I think that was a 1/2 or something.
It's expensive, but it can get there.
Yeah.
I love moving.
Even the
dunes.
tappers can get rid of 2 things per if you play them well. Yeah.
I have massive respect for the dune mover. Move them dunes. Like sometimes you just need a dune. There's
wow.
One of the tricks, it puts it on top so you use your draw.
Yeah.
But one of the tricks about the power of this thing is that like there's no common dual slot, so like fixing is a little hard to come by. So sometimes dune mover is just what you need. Cephalopod
this
Sentry.
and the previous set were kind of moving away from heavy multicolor to back to light multicolor in general.
Yep. Cephalopod Sentry is incredibly powerful. It's very easy for this to be like 4+. You want the 4 Mirrodin Bomb card.
Okay, so this is your dragon. Got
This
it.
is your dragon. This is your gold
4/4 flying haste for 5. Yeah.
This is we've had this style of dragon where it's 4/4 flying haste. Words, usually strong words, for a while. Glorybringer, gold span, things like that. And being able to move this after if the token dies, hoofa. It's expensive.
You still get.
It's expensive, but you're recasting your dragon, so.
It's kind of like that Draconic Destiny card in the previous set, in its own sort of way.
So, a fun thing about this card, it says the word affinity.
It certainly does.
This set, in addition to what they said about First Strike, one of the things Gavin had a video on was, hey, you know that thing where we keep printing like Surveil, but it's not Surveil by name, or Flashback, but it's not Flashback by
Moving
name?
away from that, finally.
That's stupid as shit in the year 2023, where you can just look up what Flashback does. Like, why are we doing that? And the answer is, we should.
There's no reason anymore. That's why cards that have been updated to have landfall in sets where landfall doesn't exist.
Especially like the one they showed off that was like an example of this was a card from Kaldheim that was like, if you control a giant, you can pay a blue and cast it has like 6 lines of text to describe like, if you control a giant, this has flashback blue. But you have to like read it like 4 times to make sure it's exactly flashback or maybe different than flashback or timed it and they're like, no, just use the damn. You use the word flashback, please. So this set has 1 card with flashback. Maybe we'll see it when we open up things in here. But there's 3 cards with affinity.
they're allowing themselves to finally admit, yeah, occasionally we kind of cheat and we have mechanics from previous sets in our set, like later sets. They just don't have the name, so we can kind of hide them.
Right, but we're not.
We're not hiding them anymore.
Right.
It's makes more sense if they just have the text.
Oh, here's a bomb rare. If you get this one.
Bordebresk's Forge.
This one's. We had one opponent with this, and boy howdy, winning that game was.
Oh, okay.
Wild.
It's a it generates power. It generates ball lightnings every turn.
Yeah, and like proliferate makes that stronger, and like even just you play this on 3 and it's its own clock. There's not a ton of first strike on defense in this set, so. Yep. Oh, for those Font of Progress likers from our previous draft, I went ahead and pulled up the limited statistics that 17 Lands has for the last week. The lowest win percentage card that has a win percentage is Font of Progress.
Hell yeah. Let's go. Someone has won with this card. Let's go.
We tried so we had a draft where we drafted this and a bunch of like oil generation, and we tried so hard.
Yeah, but it's a milk. Oh, hell yeah. Staff of Completion.
Yeah, we had a choice at this one for in this draft. I think in limited, you need to have some sort of life gain for this to be usable, just because like
yeah, that makes sense.
Its best
pays
nodes
so
are on
much.
3 and 4, and it's really expensive. And you if you want a 3-mana rock, you can get that at common. And that first ability doesn't really do much. Who's stealing stuff in this set? But it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. That's the important thing about that. It's just cool.
Trawler's Rake is one of the payoffs for not only non-creature, but like proliferate. This gets really big really quick.
Yeah, this fits in multiple plants.
Injector is really nice, cheap equipment. Doesn't come with a body, but like hands off an extra toxic stacks the way you want it to. So
expands your butt and gets you toxic. Yeah. Green Sun's Twilight.
Top X +1 cards of your library. Choose a creature and/or land from those and put them in your hand. If X is 5, put them in battlefield. I didn't even realize it was X +1. What the heck?
Yeah, the way that's written as well is also kind of X +1 with text as opposed to X +1 in numbers.
Can that staff sack stolen things since it's permanent you own? Yes.
Yes, that's the idea behind it.
So if somebody like steals a thing from you, you can go ahead and just pay a life kill it.
If you for whatever reason you have a mechanic where you've exchanged control of a card, you'd be able to kill that.
But yeah, Bladed Ambassador here we this is a card that they really like printing.
It's a good card.
It's a good card.
It's the thing.
This one is much more built into the set mechanic because it's like, okay, it gets it once, but if you have ways to proliferate, you can get more out of it.
It's also more powerful than average because usually that ability requires you to sacrifice the creature.
Yeah, well, or like has some or like discard a card or pay for life. There's a ton of different stylings on the payment on it. The one thing about this is that this one is not free. The other ones I think are free. I think that discard a card one is free.
You have an opportunity to react to this thing.
Blooded Contaminator.
Okay. Yep. Sure. That gets out of hand very quickly. This is a 3-mana 4/4 trample, toxic, and proliferates every single time it does damage. Jesus Christ.
You play this and then like you untap and then play anything. A Planeswalker. This is
kind of win.
This is a wildly strong card on like, it's almost stunning this doesn't have haste. How pushed it.
kind of, yeah. It would have to cost 4 if it was a haste one though.
Well, and then we just be at questing beast like toxic 1 (2). Yeah. Armored Scrap Gorger is a lot in this format. So this is pseudo werebear. Gets +3/+0 if it has 3 oil counters. Taps for any color mana, which sweet. And then when it becomes tapped, exile target card from a graveyard and put an oil counter on it. So graveyard hate, any color fixing becomes a 3/3 body late. Like, perfect. A plus.
Hi, Elish Norn.
So here's Elish Norn. Yeah, you have to exile to get the oil on that. Elish Norn, 2 mana cheaper, same
Also,
body.
only costs a single colored mana,
Single
which is also a
white.
powerful thing about this card.
Yeah, like all the other Praetors are double.
Yep. Every other Praetor, including the old ones, and also all of the new ones, are double.
Yeah.
Elish Norn specifically is the only single mana cost one.
Yeah, so she's got same body, which is incredible when you remove 2 mana, 4/7 vigilance.
Yep.
But your come to play effects are doubled. Your opponent's come to play effects don't work.
Yeah, it's
No longer +2, +2, -2, -2. The new when they're doing the new ones, they've been trying. They wanted to do like the same idea where it's you get better at a thing that your opponent gets worse at.
but the way that they did it was making them less like giant and splashy in general.
Yes,
Which in a lot of the
which makes
cases actually improved them.
Well, it's interesting because the original Praetor cycle, all of them, other than like Urabrask, and Urabrask and Vornklex were like the 5th and 4th, but like
Yeah.
Shieldred, Jin Gitaxias, and Elish Norn were all like cards that saw play.
Yeah.
Jin more as a reanimator target, but that's at 7, 7, and 10. The new cycle,
Yes.
Jin is at the top at 7. And like Shieldred is like incredible and constructed right now at 4.
Yeah.
Vornklex was incredible at 6. It wasn't like a 4 of because you don't really play. I don't know, 4 of your 6 drop is a way to draw your 6 drop too early. But like coming down, it was very powerful. And this Elish Norn fits as a early enough drop to be played and still be relevant, rather than be played and the game ends on the spot.
Yes.
So
They kind of shrunk down their position, but tried to keep them as relevant as they were.
yeah,
Or
and they also kept the design. Again, all of the Praetors are you do the thing, your opponent does the thing.
yeah.
So Elish Norn previous +2/+2 your team, -2 -2 your opponents. Shieldred, you get a creature back, they sack a creature. Current Shieldred, you gain 2 life on a draw, they lose 2 life on a draw. That sort of thing. It's all, and that's the consistent design principle in the Praetors. I think that's neat. I think that's
Yeah,
Well,
I think it's very cool.
makes them
And
stand out.
I actually think that modern Urabrask is the most clever mechanically of how they work.
Yes, where it's
Where-
effectively the same, but you're like not losing your draw to it.
Yeah, because Urabrask is at the beginning of your turn, you do the thing where you exile top card of your library, you get a second. Basically, you draw 2 on your draw step sort of thing. Whereas then your opponent, they skip their draw and they only get the card that they get to,
Yeah.
play on their on that turn.
Yep.
And that's obviously the weakest of the effects for the opponents, because obviously the
They
card
can still-
advantage on the aura is pretty good.
But,
But-
against certain decks, like, oh damn, my counterspell no longer functions. My reactive
Yes,
spells are just
yeah.
off. Children's Edict. So a little talk about this. For like 10 years, like R&D was like almost as a whole. Usually you don't see this, but like Diabolic Edict was the line. They would not print a card stronger than Diabolic Edict for like. They wouldn't even print Diabolic Edict, actually. They would print worse Diabolic Edicts in a lot of it. And, like, Edict was in, like, side sets. In War of the Spark, they finally decided, you know what? We can print better than Diabolic Edict. And they printed Liliana's Triumph, which is technically better than Diabolic Edict. It's each opponent sacrifices a creature, so it's each. And if you control Liliana, they discard a card. Then we kind of sat on it for a while, and here we are at Sheldred's Edict, which, holy smokes. Obviously,
Strongest goddamn edict I've ever seen.
yeah,
Holy
obviously
shit.
you don't have the ability to like eat your own creature, which is like a mode you used 1% of the time on a Diabolic Edict. But the pluses on this are so good. Like the fact that like you can use this to, like, if we're talking constructed, you can use this to snipe like dark depths or something like that. You can use this to snipe a real creature out from under all the tokens it's making. You know,
The thing
and
that's generating the tokens, you can get rid of that.
you can use it to snipe walkers too, which and not hit the creatures. Like that's so much.
At 2 mana, at instant speed.
We have a planeswalker in this set that has hexproof, and it's like, yeah, damn, that's real strong. 7 mana hexproof. Goodbye.
Children's Edict.
Yeah.
Children just kicks your ass. Sorry. Children shows up and just tears it from under, tears your card out from underneath your pant, like
Full
seat.
Yeah, very, very strong edict. This really funky threaten.
They try to give as many like variations on threaten as they can, and
the problem
so
with
it's
this,
funky.
the problem with this threaten that makes it just like, for one, 4 mana threaten. Oof. Usually you have to have something good on there. The only additional text on this is if the creature's equipped, you can destroy all equipment. But like, if the creature's equipped, I want to use the equipment. Right? Like, I want to hit you with the equipment. And then
This
destroy.
was at the end of combat, destroy all equipment on that creature. That'd actually be pretty good.
Yeah.
But they probably found that that was actually too powerful in the format, is my
May-
guess.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm.
Because there's no way they didn't test that,
Yeah,
right?
certainly.
Like, there's
And-
no chance that they didn't test that.
Basically, I'm just sad looking at this that we used Awaken the Sleeper on a card that's going to be nobody's played this in the history of Magic sort of card.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I don't want to attack with the 2/2 Rebel. Tablet of Completion. We've seen this in draft a couple times in the draft, but we never picked it. Always felt a little too slow. This like builds up mana, and then it builds up to like a card draw, which is really strong. Because like as I mentioned, there's like really not a lot in the long game, like as mana sinks. So having some sort of card draw, double draw on a turn, it's there. But we also have this Kuldotha Rebirth, Part 2. Except for like better, much better. So this is Shatter, but if you target your own thing, you get 3 goblins out of it. Which, you know, all right. Cankerbloom, this was, I think, one of the promos we saw very early. It's got a lot of modes, and it's got 3 power. This is very
it's a
much...
2 mana 3/2 with sack abilities.
very much Kasali Pride Mage or Thrashing Brontodon, the 3/4. Similar vein. Every time I've seen this card in the draft, like, I go, what the heck is this? And then every time I've seen it played against me, it's like the end of the goddamn game. I think the trick with this that makes this a little bit more, a lot realer than it looks, is that you can throw away one of your 4 Mirrodin equipment and just not care. Like, you throw away a 4 or 5 drop, you just get to go, here's the biggest Arc Lightning I've ever played. Also, I still kept the 2/2. Or sometimes you do sack a 5 drop and get 5 points on the board. So I think I've been underselling this in the sense that I've been making fun of it every time I see it because it's a sorcery that's sort of a fling, but the power on it's a little higher than I thought. Oh, hey, Better Blossom.
Yeah, that's Bitter Blossom.
So the drawback on this Bitter Blossom is that one of the things that happened a lot with Bitter Blossom is that you had to chump block with it.
Yeah. Can't do that with these.
However, the side step on it is that once you get corrupted, your tokens have lifelink to make up that difference.
Mm-hmm.
So
Also, obviously these don't have flying, which is another big downside compared to Bitter Blossom.
But if
But it does kill your opponent a lot faster.
one of the things about like making a comparison to Bitter Blossom, it's like comparing a burn spell to lightning bolt. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Damn, it's worse than lightning bolt? Tell me more. Like, huh, weird. God, I can't believe it's worse than lightning bolt. F. Get it out of here. Like, being worse than Bitter Blossom. There are many cards in Magic worse than Bitter Blossom.
Yeah, when you get down to it, the vast majority of cards in Magic are worse than Bitter Blossom.
Yeah. I think I've only seen this on the table once, but I find this vehicle interesting. This comes with a free, crew. Which is pretty neat. I like that. And tablet. Okay.
Tablet of Completion.
Anyway. So that's some Obi one. There's been more, deck space than I expected, but, it very much feels like something where, you really want to be in a... if you're missing your 1 and 2 in this set, oh boy, howdy, are you about to get run the hell over, right? Bad news, my friend. You need to be taking actions early, even if they're just reactive removal. That's fine. You just gotta have something. So, anyway, thank you all for joining. Thank you, Doc, for jumping on in.
Yeah, no worries. I wanted to see a draft of this, and
Yeah.
hadn't yet.
Yeah, if you want to catch more, you can always follow, so you're live, subscribe. Upcoming, tomorrow's still Dragon Warrior Wednesday. We're in the middle back half-ish of Dragon Warrior 3. But yeah, if you want to see streams I'm doing, it's 7 Central on weekdays and 2 Central on Sunday. Anyway, thank you all for joining. Have a good night, everybody.